It was Woodford Autojumble at the weekend on Saturday, and we picked up a little treasure. It is supposedly a Westbury Wyvern. Now, it's exactly the same design, but look at the size. It's at least twice the scale, if not 3 times the scale. So, let's get it out and we'll have a little look. So now it's out the van, you can get a bit of a better idea of just how big this little engine is. And this is the information sheet that came with it. 2¼ inch bore by 4-inch stroke. Now, the Westbury Wyverns that I've ever seen before are around 40cc and a lot smaller than that. Just for scale, I'll get the steel rule, take it around this side. That flywheel is about 13 inches. The whole engine itself, 23 inches from the cylinder head to the end of the base. Has anybody ever seen one this big before? Is there any plans available? Not that I need any, because it looks to be in quite good order, and I think we ought to really have a little go at getting it running. Now, this wooden base that it's come on, as nice as it is, it's obviously never run whilst being on there, because A, it's not drilled to the bottom, and B, there's nowhere for this cooling tank and fuel tank to go. The chap that was selling it said that he'd had it for about 15 years in his living room and never run it. But it did come with a Model T coil, buzz coil, a box with a few bits and bobs in it, bolts, fuel pipes and water pipes, albeit they have been cut. Not too sure this one is actually related at all. And there is an interesting sheet of paper in here. We can just get it out. It has a drawing on the back for how to wire it up, which is fairly obvious. But this is a coal mining electrical engineering certificate for a Kevin Lowe in 1985, and I can only assume that, don't really understand what any of this means, but maybe this was his project that he did at college for exactly that, giving us an idea that it was probably made in around 1985, and that would kind of make sense. So I'm going to get the engine from there, bolt it to the workmate, and have a go, see if we can get a tune out of it. So we've had a little whip round it with the oil can, all the oil in points, connected up the buzz coil to the contact breaker on the side shaft, and if we clip the lead on, you'll notice the brass screw, and you can hear that, and it appears to be somewhere near correctly timed. Now, before we ever go with this, just one little mention about Woodford Autojumble. It was perfect weather, all the sellers were there with some fantastic stuff. Where was everybody? Where are all the buyers that used to go to the old Oakley and Enstone Autojumble? It's in the ideal position in the centre of the country. It's 2 miles off the A14. You can't not find it, but people just don't turn up. Why? If you've got any ideas, leave us a comment below. So I'll just put a bit of fuel in the carb. Hopefully we can fill the float bowl up this way at least. Still taking it. It's still taking it. I think that must be about that. A bit more. Let's give it a pull over and see what it does. We have got a choke, so let's try using that. That was a positive sound. They're the sort of noises we want to hear. And it's away. I think that might have choked it a little too much then. The table's not the greatest. But there we have it. Fantastic, well chuffed. Let's see if we can get a bit of a close-up. The noise is the engine rattling about on the table as the clamps are rattled loose. But you get the general idea. Obviously running out of that bit of fuel that we put in it. Then again, maybe not. So now that's finished trying to shake my new Bosch workmate to pieces. I'm quite pleased with that. You see, that is the typical Westbury Wyvern cylinder head, but it is just so much bigger. It's at least twice the size, if not 3 times. And the only thing that really spoils it is the copper pipework being done out of standard pipe fittings, plumbing fittings. So yeah, so in the next couple of weeks, what do we think, guys? Do we think mount it on its wooden box and the water and fuel tank would have to have some kind of bracket to hang it off the side? Or do we build a relatively realistic trolley slash base out of steel, big enough to mount the tank, the engine, and of course the exhaust? But overall, I think that's fantastic. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like and of course subscribe to the channel. And until next time, goodbye.